welcome back to South Baltimore Now. I'm Nate Carper, and of course, joined by Kevin Lynch. What's up, Kev?
Hey, what's happening? Just trying to stay warm.
Oh my God, it's too cold out there. Today, we are thrilled to have Alissa Ganser on with us. She is the CEO and president of Business Volunteers Maryland. Business Volunteers Maryland connects businesses with meaningful volunteer opportunities, and they act as a bridge between companies who want to give back and nonprofits who need support. Alissa has been leading this charge for years, and she was recently named president and CEO. She brings a wealth of experience in nonprofit leadership and community development, and we're going to be discussing today the impact of Business Volunteers Maryland on not just South Baltimore, but the greater region as well. And I hope she shares how you, as our listeners and audience, can get involved as well. So stick with us as we welcome Alissa to South Baltimore Now. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you, Alissa. Thanks so much for joining us today. How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you so much for having me.
First, maybe just give us a little bit of background on yourself, on Business Volunteers Maryland. You guys are based here in South Baltimore, but maybe a lot of people don't know that and don't even really know what you guys do.
Sure, happy to. So Business Volunteers serves as a strategic partner for businesses and professionals who are looking to give back. And we were founded over 20 years ago by the CEOs of the major corporations in the region at the time. And 20 years ago was a time that businesses didn't quite have the impetus to give back as they do today. Today, it's a must-have among the business community. If you're not giving back, you're a little bit behind the times, especially for major corporations. But 20 years ago, it was a newer thought. They didn't have full-time staff leading this work internally. And so Business Volunteers was created as an opportunity for these businesses to have a third party to support their efforts and how to give back to Baltimore and how to be more impactful in their efforts. And obviously, Baltimore is a city that has incredible beauty and opportunity and also a lot of challenges. And then we have companies that have incredible talent and time and resources. And so figuring out how to be that strategic partner and thinking about how they can give back in a way that is impactful for their company and the community is what we do.
Awesome. You guys are based at 1201 South Sharp Street in an office building down there. So what do you guys like about that building and that location?
Oh, it's a wonderful location. It's obviously close to home. I'm a resident of South Baltimore as well, so that's really neat. But it provides a perfect opportunity for us to launch around the city. While we're located in South Baltimore, we serve the entire city. We serve the entire region. We actually operate all around the country and internationally now. So that's been a really cool opportunity of the pandemic is our ability to expand geographically. But having our headquarters in South Baltimore, it's really easy access to, again, get places. We are right near the stadiums, which is fun. We sometimes walk to games as a team and can walk down to Federal Hill Corridor to get some lunch. So we share an office with the Boys and Girls Club of Metropolitan Baltimore. So they're wonderful community partners of ours and do a lot of work. And it's a great building. Hemorrhage is a great landlord, and I really enjoy being in the South Baltimore community.
Cool. Are there any clients or nonprofits that work with business volunteers you'd like to give a shout out?
Last year, we served 226 nonprofits uniquely, most of them in the Baltimore region. And so I can certainly talk about many of them, but we serve so many different organizations in so many different ways. Many of those organizations we touch through several different programs and services that we operate. We also have a partnership with Baltimore City Schools, and there are a group of 10 schools in particular that work with us annually to further develop their relationships with the business community.
That's a further reach than I had any clue about. Honestly, I didn't know that you've even expanded internationally, and I know, of course, around the region. Can you shed a little light on some of the trends you're seeing in the volunteer space? And you mentioned a lot of different larger corporations that want to get involved. I'm just curious, like some of the trends you're seeing just in the volunteer space overall.
There's, like I said, 20 years ago, thinking about the ways businesses can give back and corporate community engagement was relatively new. And in that space, it's really evolved and grown, and it's almost an imperative to doing business these days. What we are really focusing on and what we are encouraging businesses to think about, and I would say a growing trend, is recognizing that there are really clear business benefits to giving back as well. And when we can get businesses to think about how they can give back more strategically and align their efforts in the community with their business goals, it's a real win. And that's when we get companies to give back more, to commit more dollars, more resources, to commit longer and deeper in the community. And so what we're doing with businesses is really deeply understanding what their challenges are. And most businesses are facing a similar set of challenges, right? It's around recruitment and retention. It's around obviously revenue and brand awareness. It's around employee engagement, satisfaction, skill development, leadership development. And all of those things can be achieved through giving back. And the business can send someone to a conference and pay thousands of dollars to do that. Or you can place someone on a nonprofit board. And if you think about the leadership skills they're gaining, the network they're gaining, and then the impact on the nonprofit, and then on Baltimore and the region, to me, it's a no-brainer. Businesses are thinking about that more as an organization. Business Volunteers helps businesses think about that more and really help them to give back more strategically, thinking about how they can be impactful internally. And then, of course, we do a ton of work to make sure that their engagements on the community are as high impact as possible. We don't want any engagement to be transactional. And I would say this is also a growing trend. I think that 10 years ago or previously, giving back became a lot of days of service, right? Where you have a team of people out in the community doing volunteer work. And it's great and it's really fun and rewarding for volunteers, but then they go back to their desk. And if you ask them, like, did you continue to support their nonprofit or do you even know what they really do? You'd get a mixed bag of questions. And if you ask the nonprofit, how impactful was that for you? You'd get kind of a mixed bag of answers. So how do we turn those transactional engagements into really transformational opportunities, really taking the time to think about what nonprofits need and how their engagements can be most impactful for them. And again, then creating that win opportunity.
That makes a lot of sense. I hadn't thought about it that way before, where in my mind, honestly, I've always thought about it like, oh, a company goes out and do a volunteer day at that place, and then but you never really go back and talk to them again. Maybe your company doesn't either. So you're really building that like synergy between keeping it going long after they've done their volunteer day, or not just dollars they're throwing at it. It's a relationship you're building between them. That's really cool.
We believe deeply in the power of relationships, in the power of being strategic, in the power of asking questions, in the power of really thinking about it long term, not just a one and done. And that's what the community needs. That's what Baltimore needs. And that's where you get people that want to stay in this city and want to continue to be a part of helping Baltimore grow and thrive. It's easy to come to the city or work in this city and exist in your bubble and not really understand the challenges that exist outside of your bubble or where you can be impactful in helping to mitigate some of those challenges. And what we do is we realize and empower people to recognize that there is an opportunity for everyone and every entity to do their part in helping to make this city better. And there is an opportunity for everyone. Most people don't know where to start. And so that's the role we play.
What type of feedback do you get from some of the volunteers and companies? I know we're all super busy and it's hard to find time in our schedule to do things like volunteer and different things. But I know a lot of times when you do, you really have a good feeling afterwards and have that feeling like that was great. I'd love to do this more often. So what are some of the feedback and stories you hear from some of the volunteers out there?
I love my job for so many reasons, but one of the reasons because I am filled with these stories on a daily basis. And we've worked with thousands. We matched over 2,000 people to nonprofit boards in the last 20 years, right? If you talk to one of those people about their experience, you have stories. We have a fellowship program we run called the Give Fellowship. We have over 600 alum. And just yesterday, we had a breakfast of founders of our Give Fellowship, which is 15 years old this year. We're having our alumni reunion this year at M&T Stadium, actually, in September. And founders and members of the first year class. We had a breakfast where we brought everyone back together. And the stories that were exchanged just about the power of that experience 15 years ago and how game-changing it was for the trajectory of all of these people and the number of nonprofits that they deeply engaged with and the number of boards that they've served on and led over the years, the number of other people that they've wrangled into giving back, and just the ethos they have around service and engagement and being an active part of this community. It was really powerful and meaningful. Another example, and this is one of that we do, is called Skill Connect. And it's an opportunity for nonprofits and community-based organizations to bring a business challenge that they're facing to a group of professionals who sit down and workshop that business challenge through a very structured process that we lead over a 3-hour period. We had one of these last week for a cohort of schools that we work with through Baltimore City Schools. And it was represented by school principals and community school staff from each of the participant schools. We had 7 schools participate. And then we had 45 different professionals from around the region sit down with them in teams and workshop this business challenge they're facing, everything from attendance to teacher retention to mental health challenges in the school, everything outside of teaching and learning, right? Everything outside of pedagogy that it takes to run a school. And we always reflect after our events. We do a reflection out loud where people can really hear the impact that others are experiencing. And just the reflections in that room where people were shedding tears just about how meaningful it was to be a part of that experience, to realize that I didn't realize that my skill set could be so impactful in helping a school resolve this entrenched challenge. I also didn't realize how hard it is to work in schools and what heroes the school leaders are. And so bridging that gap, removing stereotypes, empowering people that they really have a lot to offer, building relationships that are going to last beyond that event. Now we've connected all these people and companies to these schools, and we're going to continue those relationships after. So that's, again, just one event we did last week. And last year, we led hundreds of events, trainings, workshops.
And that's incredible. I noticed on your events calendar on your website, you guys are doing events all the time. There's so many different ways to connect with Business Volunteers Maryland. We're obviously very local here in South Baltimore.
One wonderful partnership we have is with South Baltimore Gateway Partnership, who is an entity that was created to help distribute some of the proceeds from the casino out into the local regional community. And they are a fantastic entity that has supported so many different community-based organizations in South Baltimore and different initiatives to make this region a better place. And we support them in a variety of different ways. We're actually leading a training for them tonight. I actually just got off a call with them right before we started recording this podcast. And we do consulting work to help strengthen the leadership and boards of local nonprofits. So there's many different South Baltimore nonprofits that we work with regularly. Federal Hill Main Street is one of them, but we work with many different orgs through that. We lead trainings for them. We do board trainings and board consultation. And so that's just one way that we're supporting.
Tell us about your team working in the office there in South Baltimore. How many people do you have working in South Baltimore, and what's the environment like down there?
Sure. We have a team of 6 strong right now. We are hiring 2 more. Plug. If you follow us on LinkedIn or social media, you'll see those postings up. And so we'll be a team of 8 or 9 or so by the end of this year. But we are hybrid. So we're in the office 2 days a week, and we're virtually 3 days a week. So Tuesdays and Wednesday, our team is in the office, and we love being in as a team. It's really important to us. And again, having that shared time together in person, and also that partnership and relationship we have with Boys and Girls Club and the work that they do across the region, including South Baltimore, is really powerful. So it's a fun, vibrant office. We are dog friendly and we like each other. So that helps.
Let's go. Small team. You got to get along right now.
That's right. That's right.
And I know that's a cool building you're in. There used to be a clothing company called Bullseye Bills that was based in that building many years ago before it was converted to offices a couple of decades ago. So I'm sure that's a cool space with some unique original characters and unique original characteristics in there.
Really is. And we've been in that building for about 12 years now, almost 15 years. We were originally across the street in that office park. And we're up on the 3rd floor, and there's exposed rafters, and it's a really cool open concept industrial feeling loft space. And it's awesome to know the history of that building too. And I could totally see that in the building.
Is there ways locals here in the community can get involved with you?
Absolutely. So we have kind of 2 different tracks. We have our ability to support businesses and companies and think about them as an entity and the professionals within those companies and how they can give back. And then we have opportunities for individuals, regardless of who your employer is or what you do, to support you. For individuals, the Give Fellowship is one opportunity, which I would encourage anyone who is civically minded and looking for a really long-term, meaningful opportunity to give back. We have a cohort of 40 to 50 professionals every year that go through the Give Fellowship. There's an alumni board. There's constantly networking events and alumni engagement events. And that is the greatest network of people that I know. So applications open in late November every year and they just closed. And so we're currently reviewing applications for the 2025 cohort. We also have board trainings. We have board matching services, and so board matching is definitely another opportunity for individuals to get involved. Twice a year, we hold speed dating events for professionals looking to serve on a nonprofit board. It's called Board Connect. It's really fun. And our next Board Connect event is in March, and that is available to anyone in the general public. Strongly encourage anyone who's interested in board service to attend. This next event will be held in person. Board Connect, we have 10 amazing nonprofits from throughout the city that will be there who are all looking for board members. And it's fantastic. Board Connect, it's super structured, and happy to talk more to anyone about that. We also have lots of board trainings to prepare people for nonprofit board service because it is a responsibility as well as the most high impact thing that you can do as far as giving back. So those would be other opportunities. Occasionally, about once a year, we will have the Skill Connect event that is open to the general public. We do those a lot for companies in-house, but we do have one at least per year with city schools that is open to the public. So those would be some ways. We have on our website, there's an events calendar and definitely more about the Give Fellowship. And so go to our website, businessvolunteersmd.org, and look at our events page. If you have a business that's looking to get involved, definitely reach out to Business Volunteers. We'd love to help. If you're a nonprofit that is looking to get support through Business Volunteers, all of our nonprofit services are free. Our funding comes from the business community, from fee for service for different opportunities we have to match professionals and things like that. But all the services we do for nonprofits are free. So if you're a nonprofit and you're looking for our support and you're not in our system, please visit our website. We've got a button that says Nonprofit Portal. Click on that. And it very clearly lays out how nonprofits can get support through Business Volunteers. And we'd love to try to help. We always have way more nonprofits that are looking for our support than we're able to help. But again, like I said, we touched over 200 nonprofits last year uniquely. And so we hope to be able to work with any and all.
Awesome. Alissa, thank you so much for joining us today. And this has been a pleasure getting to know Business Volunteers more. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
And to all of our listeners out there, go to businessvolunteersmd.org and check out their site. They've got some really cool information that's all listed on there. Follow them on LinkedIn, Instagram. Their motto is doing good better. And I've been part of many events that they've done, and it's just an incredible organization. Another great business here in South Baltimore doing good things for good people. Thank you guys for tuning in.